Champion of what?
Well, champion of what?
I can chop a world lead, I don't even like running. You gotta run fast just to go and get some money. I'm no Elias K, you know how I'm coming. I ain't going to no Olympics, I ain't running, I ain't jumping. I can make 100,000 at the crib being funny.
What's good, Oh, snap. Let's go. What's good, everybody? It's the GOAT, Aaron Brown. Wait, is my mic on? Or am I tripping? Let's see. Yo. All right, we live. All right, so what's good, everybody? It's the GOAT, Aaron Brown. And on this video, I will be talking about Grand Slam shutting down their inaugural season, canceling the season, canceling their final destination in LA, and just talking about the reason they failed, how being arrogant and knowing it all is never a good sign, especially in business, especially as a startup. So yeah, let's just go through it. I want to firstly talk about the things that I noticed from each meet, the top headline from each Grand Slam track meet. And I think that these are a part of the reasons why Grand Slam went wrong as a whole, because if these are the top headlines from each meet, then clearly something isn't going right. So if you look, I said these are the biggest headlines from each Grand Slam event so far. In Jamaica, the biggest thing that we saw was everybody talking about the stands being empty. Nobody showed up. People getting off work. They're having other events in Jamaica. It's hard to get there right now. Champs was last week. Nobody's here. So that was like the most talked about thing. That was the thing that garnered the national headlines and the national attention, that took up all the media attention when it came to talk about Grand Slam for their first event, despite having some pretty good performances from people like Saul E. Nasser and Mary Lady Paulino. That was overlooked because the stands were empty. And then next in Miami, they had the Fred Curley situation at the hotel, in which Fred Curley got arrested and he got out the next day. So he was out in time to run, but they didn't allow him to run because you know how track and field is. They try to uphold and have this overly positive image, in which it's not real. They try to force this overly positive image. And that's why I feel like everyday people don't gravitate towards track and field. And your average sports fan, omitting the track and field fans, because that's just a whole different realm. But your average sports fan, like guys who like to, or not just like to, but who will sit around and watch a football game and watch a hockey game and watch a baseball game. I'm one of those guys. Your average sports fan who don't keep up with track, why would they tune into this shit? And we can't even do actual sports shit in track. In our regular sports, we can cheer for the teams and the people who we like and root against the people who we don't like. So if I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan and I go see them play the Giants or the Eagles, I'm cheering for the Cowboys. And when the Eagles got the ball, I'm booing them. I don't want to see Jalen Hurts do good. I want to see Jalen Hurts get injured. I'm going to just be honest. And then in Philly, they had Mr. 100K a day heckling the athletes. That was the biggest headline, despite Melissa Jefferson running 21-9 and 10-7, despite Kenny Benaire dropping a world lead in 100, running fast in a 2, winning the 2 by half a second. All of that was disregarded and looked over because they chose to put all the attention on a guy, a average track and field fan or average sports fan showing up and heckling athletes and cheering for the athletes he wants to see win and rooting against the ones he didn't want to see win, as it happens in every other sport. And they made it a big deal. Like this was just such a negative and wrong thing. And that was the type of narrative the Grand Slam chose to support and stand behind. And I said for LA, it's to be determined. And despite LA being determined, this was the result. Canceled. Yes, it literally got worse and worse each meet. First meet, the stands empty. Second meet, Fred Curley got arrested, but the meet still went on, this and that. Philly, Meet went on, great performances. All that shit was overlooked because they decided to put all the energy on a fan who literally um decided to root against athletes who he didn't want to see win. So I knew from a business perspective, because I gave Kyle and Michael Johnson advice, because you got to think about it. I'm a marketing genius, no matter how you put it. If you think about it, I done did 3 million views on Instagram this month. I done did 6 million views on TikTok this month alone. I done did hundreds of thousands on YouTube this month alone. And it's not me posting other people's content like a lot of these guys and this and that. Like, I'm really in the creative process to where I create my own content. I'm doing millions of views off of just me. I ain't paying nobody. I ain't doing this and that. Just my creativity alone creates millions and garner millions of views and my ideas, and I help other people do so as well. So if I see this brand new venture come around the track and field, it's like, hell, why not help them? I know Michael Johnson, they're kind of older, 50 something years old. They're not really too hip on the social media extent to where they know how to, really do the marketing and really know how to get people engaged. It's more so about fan engagement. But that was another thing I noticed too around the first meet. They were too focused on fans. I mean, they were too focused on the athletes rather than the fans. So their whole goal was to make the athletes super happy. Oh, we're gonna pay them all of this money and we're gonna treat them like this and we're gonna give them this and that. But the fans like, all right, we want to see this, we want to see these matchups, we want to see this and that, we want to see this taken out, we want to see this put in. They disregarded all of the shit the fans wanted to see and all the shit the fans want to be a part of just to appease the athletes. And that will never, ever, ever, ever. That's business one-on-one on how to, what not to do, because you have to appease and you have to appeal to your consumer. So that's just like Walmart be like, we don't give a damn what our customers think. We want to make sure our employees are happy. Like, bro, that just sounds stupid, but that's how track and field operates. Michael Johnson and them didn't really give a fuck about how the fans thought about it and what the fans thought and what the fans wanted to see. They just wanted to make sure that the athletes were happy. And that was just a failed venture because despite offering all of this money and this and that, the athletes still weren't locked in for real. Let's just take a look at this. If you pay attention to the last Grand Slam when they were in Philly, despite them paying Gabby Thomas so much money to promote them and talk about them, she's literally at the meet talking about she had a dream about Athlos last night. So Grand Slam's direct competitor, Gabby Thomas, is promoting them and dreaming about them while at the Grand Slam event. At Athlos, she wouldn't dare make a post about Grand Slam. I can bet y'all $1,000 it won't happen. I think they're having an Athlos event in like October or something. She won't make a single post about Grand Slam, and I can bet my bottom dollar on it. Also, their top athlete that they're saying that their top athlete is Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. Let's check Sid's Twitter. Sydney McLaughlin. Go Sid, go. Let's check Sid out, man. Sid don't even have a single post about Grand Slam on her Twitter, despite this Twitter being the track and fields like go-to place for information and news and updates. She don't have a single post. She was the first athlete that they signed. They pay her all this bread. She probably made $500,000 from Grand Slam, if not more. And she can't even make a post about Grand Slam. So off rip, they failed with the promotions and the marketing. If you look, Sha'Carri, she making 1 million posts about Athlos. Gabby Thomas making 1 million posts about Athlos and this and that. So their direct Grand Slam's direct competitor, your athletes are promoting and speaking about your competitor while they're at your events. So that was a fail off. That goes to show you that the shit that you signed, they ain't even locked in for real. And they not even 100% sold on the shit that you selling. So it was just a failed venture to begin with. And then also too, a lot of people was like, why don't you I just saw somebody actually say something about it. They just told me, why don't I Oh, here it is right here. We were speaking about Athlos, and no, we wasn't even speaking about that, but he said support them real track leads from Michael Johnson and a Reddit guy. They give actual pro contracts then. All I seen you do is hate on the leagues. You do realize the power of influence over you do have the power of influence over a good amount of people. I was like, why would I support these leagues and they don't support me? If I have all of this influence, and not only that, I've given them some great advice that they chose to ignore. So if I have all of this influence and I chose to use my influence to help them and they rejected my help, then that's a them problem. He said, because it's the solution to all things you cry about. My thing is, I'd rather just complain about track being rolled as hell every day and get paid from it than actually see a solution. Because if there's a solution that come around, I probably won't be getting paid as much because there won't be much to complain about. And everyone knows when it comes to marketing and insight and things of that nature, negativity sells. We don't give a fuck about positivity. We don't care how good Grand Slam is doing. It will pay us way much more money for it to do bad as a content creator. And not even that, like, I never really talk shit about it. Every time you see me talk about it, you see me being critical of it. Now, being critical is being negative, then that's a you problem. That's a you problem. Because me being critical is me offering other solutions that you're choosing to ignore. So that's none of my concern. And I'm not getting paid to help them be better. So that's on them anyways. So yeah, it was bound to fail. It was bound to fail. And then also, not even that, they're giving away $3+ million to athletes who firstly aren't going to bring in no return. No return. What they should do is, this how they should determine on how much athletes get paid. Make each athlete make a YouTube channel. And since they always saying, oh, we don't get the rights, we can't even post our pictures from the meets. We can't even post videos of us from track meets. Make each athlete make a YouTube channel so they can get paid directly from their influence. And they post their races on their YouTube channel, and the monetization on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and Twitter is how they get paid. Let's see how many views they get. And that's going to determine the supply and the demand. The demand for you isn't that high. That's how the negotiation should work. It don't matter how fast you running. Nobody is watching it. Nobody cares. Nobody's tuning in. That's how you can solve that problem, in my opinion. Because people feel like, oh, I'm running 10 flat and I'm running 9 seconds. Why don't you pay me this much? It doesn't matter how much or how fast you are, how talented you are, if no one cares. Just like Nike, they just dropped Daniel Roberts. They told him that, yeah, you're the Olympic silver medalist. You got a silver medal at the World Championships the year previous, but you're a nobody and you have no influence and you can't help us sell products because you just simply, your market value is non-existent. So despite you being immensely talented, you aren't worth anything to us because you can't help us. It's only us helping you. And in the relationship where there's only one person helping and it's not a symbiotic relationship, I think that's the right one. Where both parties are being helpful, what's the point of even continuing to engage in it? So I think with Grand Slam, they're overly helpful to the athletes, but the athletes don't help Grand Slam. And then also, too, starting a league in America without the top Americans is a failed venture to begin with because Americans don't care about track and field. I don't care how you slice it, how you put it. It's a boring product. You can spray perfume and air freshener on a pile of shit. It's still a pile of shit. You can't force no one to care about. I made a tweet about this, about attempting to force people to care about shit that they don't care about. And there's nothing you can do about that. People all the time this and that. And why don't they? Bruh, you just can't force people to care about shit they don't care about. It's not happening. Track and field in America is just one of those things that people don't care about. And that's it. I said track people are so hell bent on trying to force people to watch and like something that they simply don't care about. Track and field is a shit product. It's not entertaining for non-diehard track fans. The athletes are too sensitive. And this is directly what I meant by the athletes being too sensitive. Gabby Thomas got her doors blown off at the last Grand Slam in 100 and a 200, despite her being the Olympic champion in the 200. And somehow Mr. 100K a day heckling her turned into national news. She blew this up to really like change the subject of her getting rolled. She's like, I'd rather play a victim, make it seem like a guy was stalking me and following me around at the meet all day. That's the reason I really didn't do that good. So instead of everybody talking about, oh yeah, Gabby Thomas was rolled, it was like, oh, y'all got to protect Gabby and this and that. When really that wasn't the case. And then Michael Johnson was like, this is where he also dropped the ball and failed. He said, sorry, you have to experience this and this and that. We'll be taking appropriate steps. This will not be tolerated. Simply heckling at a sporting event will not be tolerated. When has heckling not been tolerated at a sporting event? So off rip, it goes to show you that they don't want their fans to be engaged. They don't want it to be ran like a regular profitable sport, and they want to keep upholding and obtaining this godlike image for these athletes when they ain't perfect, and most of their top athletes are cheating anyways. But I don't want to speak too much on that. That's off topic. But yeah, let's get back to the topic at hand. It's a shit product. It's not entertaining for non-diehard track fans. The athletes are too sensitive and their self-esteems are too low to be treated like professionals in other sports, which will turn an average sport fan away from track and field, which it does. If I can't cheer for my favorite athlete and then root against the athletes I don't like as a sports fan, why would I engage in your sport? And then also, too, if I can't even go online and make a prediction, be like, this person is going to win, this person going to lose, and the person who I say going to lose somehow find my post and leave a million comments talking about this and that, and I'm hating on them. As a sports fan, I don't even want to fuck around with your sport. So, yeah, so they can't be treated like professionals in sport. I don't care what you in track. I don't care what you say. Their self-esteem is too low to be treated like professionals. Motherfuckers out here running for $100,000, crying online about what motherfuckers doing for free. I don't understand that. But that's where the low self-esteem comes in, and the top track athletes suffer from low self-esteem. So that's just a whole nother problem. I said it's too inclusive, which it is. Anybody can just be a part of track. You can be a high schooler, run at pro meets. You could be a just regular role person off the camera who just has aspirations of getting into sports and want to cover it and try. You can just pick up a camera and a mic, go to a track meet, interview the top athletes. So it's too damn inclusive. Anyone who wants to run can be a part of it. There's no structure. The media people, all they do is meet ride and don't produce any interesting content. They just dick ride to be friends with the athletes and many, many other problems, which is 100% facts. And if you can read this statement I just put out and say that I'm lying, that any part of this is a lie, you're just naive, because there's not a single lie that has been told. And like I said, bro, anybody can be a part of it. When it comes to the media, they're all boring. They all have no influence. These aren't big name. These ain't no Stephen A. Smiths and Skip Baylesses and this and that, or even just guys. You got to think about it. I'm probably not even probably one. I'm definitely one of the biggest media people in track and field. And firstly, I ain't dick riding no athletes to be their friends. I ain't going to track meets to do no interviews, because all athletes expect you to do is meet ride them in this sport, and that just doesn't get any attention. So I don't even want to be a part of no shit like that. But that's the type of shit Grand Slam enables. That's the type of shit track and field enables. And it has been a failed venture for track and field for 30 plus years. It's a 30 plus year sample size, and the things that have went wrong, they chose to ignore them and implement them into their new business, despite them going wrong for so many years and expected a different result. But like they always say, play a stupid game or play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But that's just my 2 cents on why Grand Slam shut down, and it's a failed venture. Giving away $3+ million to mediocre athletes who don't have no influence, no impact on anything in society and outside of literally those track meets is stupid as fuck. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Until next time, I'm out.
World champion of what? World champion of what? I can drop a world lead, I don't even like running. You gotta run fast just to go and get some money. I'm no Elias K, you know how I'm coming. I ain't going to no Olympics, I ain't running, I ain't jumping. I can make 100,000 at the crib being funny.